They're down by 14. And Beretta intercepted by Teague. George Teague to the end zone. Touchdown. Ball is now right in the middle. That says blitz. Passes away. Penalty flag down. Lamar Thomas has got it. Lamar Thomas is on his way down the sideline. George Teague is after him and runs him down.
Takes the ball
away from him. Teague got the ball. Teague to 12. Game's over. Alabama defeats Miami. Number 2 beats number 1, 34-13.
Blitz on from the 1. And they throw a fade right side of the end zone for Owens. He got both feet in. Touchdown catch over the shoulder. Look at it. Here we go. We're going to have a big fight. There goes Owens. Puts it down. And he levels it.
Here it goes.
And now Teague is aimed at by an offensive lineman. Flozell Adams pulls Teague away. And Owens is waved to the bench. And he stands in the middle of the star and holds the ball out.
Let me tell you something, Brad. Terrell Owens started it. Emmett Smith went out to the 50, trumped him. Now Terrell Owens comes back, and George Teague said, you know what, I'm not going to take this. Good for George Teague.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Teague's Take Podcast with George Teague, alongside George and JT, some Tim Ham, and big special guest. He's not big anymore, but he used to be the kitchen, and now he's just another appliance. The great Nate Newton, ex-Cowboy. Nate, welcome to the show, brother. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about seeing you guys. I'm here with Deion Sanders, man, at the University of Jackson State team here, and I don't want to talk about them because I went to FAM, so I don't know nothing about Jackson State, but I do know about Deion. Believe that I could never beat Jackson State when I was here. I'm good.
Well, man, it's a great night. It's a great night, and this, of course, is Championship Tuesday for George. Alabama, Nick Saban.
Roll Tide.
They did it again, George. They did it again.
18 times. I got a lot of stuff I need to rearrange in here. I got to get new memorabilia, everything else. I'm running out of stuff. I'm running out of space, man, to put things, man. Only so many flags and pennants and stuff that we can get. Shirts. I got shirts from way back when, man, with National Championship on it. So, but that's how we do, Nate. And I know your boy down there. You make sure you tell Prime. I know he's listening. You tell him that we rooting for him too, because I know he's doing big things down there, and I just need him to recruit a couple of my dudes. I got some dudes for him. I know they got to be, what he say, 6'5", run a 4.3. We got it. We know what he's trying to do. We know what he's trying to do.
You, man. Wow.
Yes,
I hear you, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's all good. But we're glad you're here, Nate. We do appreciate it, man. You always been one of my boys, man. Just way back when, coming in. I think you might have been one of the first dudes to crack on me when I came to the Cowboys.
Yeah, man. Hey, T, I love you to death, man. But who was that handsome dude we got up there in the corner, man, with that other A on his shirt, man?
Oh, not me. You didn't mean me. I'm sorry.
No. You handsome in a different form.
There you go. All right. I've heard worse.
Well, that's the protege. That's JT, man. JT.
Okay.
He does his deal. He gonna be throwing some knowledge at you later on, man. He start getting after you a little bit,
Okay.
Got
one thing about me, I know how to say no comment. If it gets to me, I definitely know how to say no comment. So I'm good. Go down that road, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, man, we just want to spend a little bit of time. I know there's a lot of people that are tuning in and watching, want to hear what you got to say. And, man, I know we could go at this for a long time, but we want to talk some current Cowboys, some old Cowboys. I actually want to start with it. I want to talk to you about Jimmy Johnson actually first, because I really just want to know what your experiences were with him. And let me preface that and start with why I'm asking that, because I didn't get to play with Jimmy Johnson here at the Cowboys.
He would have loved you, dog.
Well, I don't know. That's part of my story because
we understand how you took the ball from and ruined the kid's career, but it's all right. He'll love you in the pros.
Yep, but I did play with him. So when he went to the Dolphins,
Right.
he was the reason, other than going to Florida and being in great weather and no taxes in Florida, that I wanted to go down there and play. But he and I didn't necessarily get along.
Wow, for real?
Yeah, and it was.
But you was a player, man. He normally liked players.
Yes, but you know what? And this is my opinion. I think it was because what he tried to his motivational tactics didn't necessarily have to work for me. I think he felt like he had to get on my ass. He had to do whatever. And I was trying to, Jimmy, you don't need to do that, man. I'm good. I'm self-motivated. You get on me when I do something wrong, whatever. But right now, I'm balling, man. So he wanted to use some tactics. Bench. And so I didn't really get along. So I just wanted to see how your stuff.
Well, the thing is, T, I wasn't self-motivated, man. I was that guy, man. I was good. I was good with life as it was. And two people touched my life, man, and got me going. One was Jimmy, and the other was Charles Haley. You have always been special, man. People would tell me I'm special, but I didn't value football till late in my life. You value football from day one. And I tell people, guys that value that sport that they're trying to get into, have a passion for politics, have a passion for being a preacher, whatever. They have an advantage because they walk in, and all they need now is the God-given ability to be blessed on them. Well, I had the God-given ability, but it wasn't my passion till late in my career. One, the first time with Jimmy, the second time with Charles Haley. So, he could cuss at me, and if you cuss at Nate, all I'm gonna do is start laughing. You say something crazy to me, and I'm just gonna look at you. You ask me what I think, and I'll be like, "Is that what you think?" And he'll say, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you the boss, and I'm gonna try to do what you say," and I walk off. It's like, is I'm touching this dude? Is I'm not touching this dude? And some people, and I learned, man, some dudes just not gonna be cussed at. If you want to lose the guy, cuss at him. And Jimmy normally would be a little more patient in trying to learn his guys. So that's kind of shocking that he would even try you like that, because he should have knew, because he normally do his history on the player. And ain't nowhere in your past where you got to holler at Teague, or you got to go at Teague. Ain't nowhere in your history for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of shocked. I'm sorry y'all didn't click, man.
No, it's okay. I mean, I still obviously got mad respect for the man on the way he coached and the things that he did, for everywhere he's been. Shoot. Down there at the bottom, Miami. I mean, just everything. So
yeah, but see, he probably was trying to get back at you for what you did down there at the bottom. Jimmy got to bow like an elephant too. He don't forget that either.
That might be right. Might be right. But I tell you, he'll put the fear of God in some people. That, because man, he'll cut you. Back then, when they could just cut you like that, he'll cut you in the middle of practice.
I tell people like this, man. And I try to tell young people, now I'm crazy. I do wild things and I say wild things, but mine mostly to get an effect, to see how a person gonna respond to it. But and I mentioned that word passion, man. Whatever you do in life, I don't care what it is, you find that passion. And if it's legal, you go at it. I ain't talking about being no hustler. I ain't talking about doing something stupid. That type of passion is misguided. I'm talking about something that can lead you down the road to prosper in this world and be looked at on a great light, man. And I was about to let all of that get away. Early in my career, I went with the Redskins, got cut, then went into the USFL. First of all, let me tell y'all, my name is Nathaniel Newton Jr. I was named after my father. That was my idol. That was my so-called, a lot of people grew up, hey, I love this guy, I love my daddy for the values that he had. Now, he didn't know that. because he was so hard on the cat. Because everybody see me the same way. When we was trying to set up this show, what I'm doing, I'm clowning. I'm like, Teague, I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna be on there because if it weren't for this dude over here, I wouldn't have got on Chrome, Google, or whatever it's called. And so I'm always teasing. I'm always trying to do the right thing now. Whereas before, I used to always be teasing and just going at folks and doing crazy things. And so what I'm trying to say is this right here. If you got a passion for something and you want it, you go get it, man. I know this first little segment is trying to get to know Nathaniel Newton Jr. I'm a type of person, man. Once I get locked on something, sometimes I get a little carried away, whether it's cracking jokes, whether it's trying to do my job, whether it's trying to explain something. I get so passionate about it till I get caught up in it, and sometimes you got to stop me. Or if I promise you I'm going to do something, I'm going to be that way on time. Like, I told Prime I'll be here Sunday. Well, I ain't had nothing to do, so I drove down here today. Because I wanted to meet his team just real briefly, let them know I will be back Sunday. Because when you lock into something, you commit to something, you have to give it your all. And that, if people are like, why you like Bama so much? Why you like the SEC so much? Because you know what? It was never a second thought in their mind. When the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, and what do y'all want us to do? We gonna play football. So I love coaches like that. I love the Belichicks of the world because they coach, we opting out. Okay, bye. We still gonna be who we gonna be. Now the record didn't indicate that, but it ain't gonna be too many years that he gonna be down. So I love people that got a passion for what they do, man. That's why I love you. Respect what the school you do, man. And so I know anybody that's connected to you got a passion for something.
Yes, sir. Well, I do appreciate it, brother. I do appreciate it. Okay, man. You see, this is why I love Nate, though. When I was tweeting about this and saying this stuff earlier, because he's a keep it real kind of dude. He'll tell you exactly what he's feeling, how he's thinking, good or bad. Not ever to try to hurt anybody and do that stuff.
No.
He's just a good dude, man. I appreciate that. Because I honestly felt like he wasn't going to come on to JT because I used to kick his butt in dominoes because he didn't know how to play no dominoes. He could block the hell out of you, but he didn't know how to play no dominoes back in the day.
You know what amazed me, Tim and Lil T? You know what always amazed me is it's about five in the corners and setting it up and blocking somebody out. And I used to sit there, man, trying to figure out how they knew what was in my hand. You know what? I just threw away the game. I don't play dominoes to this day because of him and all that. Man, forget 5, 25, bam, they slapping the dominoes. I can't I'm thinking about a cheeseburger or something. They slapping these dominoes, man. I'm like, forget this foolishness, man. Gave it up, man. I gave up dominoes. Hey, little T, do you ever play your pops in dominoes?
No, because of the same reason. It seemed like no matter what you got in your hand, he always knows what's in there. So it's like, what's the point? I might as well just put my dominoes on the table. Just look at it.
You ever play against him, man?
No, he don't let me come over to his house.
I just man, the only game I play is like the little word game where you fill in words called word cookies. I play that game. And then I play the little block squares that you fill in. And other than that, my wife tried to get me to start playing little casino games, and I saw where they was just trying to take all my points. I quit playing that game. I got to win, bro.
Hey,
I can win in those games that I play.
Nate be guessing on the words because you can scribble on the screen like this.
I be spelling some words. I ain't figure I can spell, dog. I ain't know it was in me, dog.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you, brother. So I'm a diehard, lifelong, before I was in the media, Cowboy fan. Moved here in '73 with my folks. So I remember vaguely as a little kid, our '70s Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Danny White, oddly,
I ain't trying to cut you off in that, which I am cutting you off. But when you was a little kid, when was you little? I mean, I just want to explain that to me.
I'm 10 years younger than you. Okay,
Okay, all right.
10 years younger than you.
Okay, you was a younger kid.
By the way,
All right.
nobody ever called me the kitchen. I'm just telling you that. So I do remember you. I remember you getting drafted by Washington. I do remember you playing for the Bandits.
Okay. Ooh,
USFL. I do remember you coming over to the Cowboys. Of course, you played for Tom Landry for 3 seasons before.
Yeah, two or three. Yes, sir. You about correct. Yes,
before Jerry bought the team. So, I guess my question is, I wanted to know your memories of Coach Landry and what it was like playing for him. Of course, those were not really good teams at that time, but what was it like?
Overaged.
Landry?
We were overaged. He held on to the veterans too long. He thought he could make a great run with those older guys. And I say we because I was a part of the team. We're just a little too old. I mean, our average age was probably about 31. I mean, we had some older dudes, bro. And Big Ed, Danny White, Randy White, them dudes was old. Dutton, right. They were old, man. They could still play, but they weren't the elite players of the league like they was 7, 8 years earlier. But you asked about Coach Landry, man. He was real, man. You had to earn the right because you was a number. Hey, 73 or hey, 71. Until you showed that you would deserve to be a Cowboy, you were a number. But now once you made the team and played your part and did whatever it did, then he would call you by your name, and that was your last name. It wasn't no first name basis, Right. Now, a few guys called him by his name, but I called him Coach. I called him Coach Landry. And man, I'm telling you, I had none of respect. I ain't figure he knew my name till a death happened in my family, and I had to leave. And I told him, he said, "Well, all right, Nathaniel, I'm looking like." No, he called me Nathaniel. Like, whoa. I didn't figure he cared to know my name, because at that time I was a backup guy to the backup guy, because I was having a hard time learning his system because he had a multiple set system. And I probably would have never learned it, bro. I probably would have never been a Cowboy much longer, until Jim Erkenbeck came in there and simplified things and I became a starter. And but he was a great man. I remember one time when I was a rookie, just once again, clowning, right? So we out in Thousand Oaks, California. And I got my back to the door, and I'm entertaining these vets, Randy White and Everson Walls and all these guys. I'm just going off cracking jokes. And then I think I had on my hat too, Dallas Cowboy hat, because I've been a Cowboy all my life. So I'm proud. I'm making the fellas laugh. I know I'm going to get cut. I ain't going to make the team. So I'm going to have me some fun. And all of a sudden the room just got quiet. And I noticed nobody had on a hat. So I turned around. Coach Landry just looking at me. He just looked at me. And somebody hit me. But they get your hat off. So I took my hat off, turned back around. It's just like, whoa, I know I'm gonna be cut tomorrow. Here I am just clown. I got the whole room entertained. 89. Back then you have 140 guys. I got a whole 140 guys paying attention to me. I'm like, wow. And I'm telling everybody, man, why y'all didn't say nothing? Why y'all didn't nudge me? Well, Coach Andrew looking at you. You don't want to make a move. And he was every bit of that stoic. You gonna give him respect, and you gonna do what's right when you come into a building. You're not gonna be loud like I was, cracking jokes like I was. You're here for a purpose, that's to learn football, to get these installs. And it's all right to carry on a conversation, but you're not gonna be an idiot. He didn't tell me none of this. I just got all of that from that one look he gave me.
So I had about, I don't know, it was probably 15 years ago, I had a chance to talk to Bill Bates about the same thing. Asked him about, because he played for Landry and he played for Jimmy. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, man, just what are your memories of Coach Landry and what was it like playing for him compared to Coach Johnson? And, he looked at me, I swear he looked like he was looking into my soul.
Yeah.
And almost busted out crying before he could ever talk about Coach Landry. He said, he's one of the greatest men I've ever known in my life, and he changed my life forever. And I'm forever indebted to him for making me who I am today. And I get it, but it's just.
Well, man, you touch certain people in a certain way, man. I'm serious.
Yeah.
he was about football. And I heard Drew Pierce one time had a catch streak. He's catch so many balls every game, a ball per game, and he was hurt. And you think Coach Landry didn't care or was aware of stuff like that. He came to Drew and said, "Hey, Drew, you want to throw you a quick out at the end of the game or something? Keep the streak." It got Drew so off guard. He's like, "Nah, Coach." Now he looked back and said, "Yeah, I should have got that pass." But Coach Landry just would touch you in a special way. Like for me, calling my first name. When I started out, hey 71, then became Newton, and I'm like, this dude don't care. But you great men who treat you fair, you want their respect.
Right.
When they show you that respect and they show you a little bit of love, man, then you'll try to do anything in the world for them.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you sharing that, man. That means a lot just from an old Cowboy fan right here.
Yes, sir. Hey, don't you got one of Nate's Super Bowl championship rings or something too, Tim?
It ain't his, it's Larry Brown's. He was there. He was on the team.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I got a replica Larry Brown 80 or 95. Super. It was the last one.
Oh, sweet, man.
So.
Yeah, Larry Brown had to be the luckiest man in America, didn't he?
Hey,
Dude just told you 2 or 3 interceptions.
I hope he gave Neil O'Donnell a big hug after that game because that was all on Neil O'Donnell.
Yeah, man. I think Neil to this day. I think Neil don't even like me because I be like, Neil, boy, you got to be one of the greatest dudes in the world. You really are a Cowboy fan, ain't you, Neil? You got to be a Cowboy fan to make the bad throws you.
Neil did not have a good game, that's for sure.
Wow.
Hey, JT, how does it feel? How did you feel when you heard Nate Newton say, "Man, we had these dudes old as dirt, and they 31 years old"?
Today's world.
I mean, it didn't hurt me none. I'm only 27.
Yeah, I know. I figured, you about to be old, man. Well, I'm trying to say.
No. How did it make you feel knowing that you're about to be 50 in February?
Well, Nate older than me, so I'm good.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. When I look at Whitfield today, is it Whitlock or the defensive tackle, the offensive tackle? I think for the Rams, he finna play until he's 40.
Whitworth.
Whitworth. Yeah.
Come on, man. These guys, and the reason we couldn't play that we were 40 because we beat each other up.
Yep.
Even our hard practices, even our walkthrough type practices. I'm talking about the league as a whole was was more physical than what these guys do today. The days that they have off. If a player say he's injured, now trainers protect him. But when we was coming through, the trainer went and asked the coach what he thought. This is the injury. Coach, what do you think? This is the injury. This is when your player will be back, and we'll appreciate it if you don't talk to him. So
that's awesome.
Hey, man, and I got to give some quick shout-outs because we got a lot of fans in here. Thank you, Nate, because you bringing them out big time in here. Coach Hall, who's out in Fort Worth, is up in here. Got some people from out in Tennessee. I see you. Marcus, Craig, of course, he's talking about our stuff. So, hey, man, make sure y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep putting those comments in here if y'all got something y'all need to ask.
Tell you guys from Tennessee, man, y'all should feel great that y'all let Bama beat y'all every year. Y'all should feel great. Y'all are part of history. Come on, man. Tennessee. I mean, beat Bama, man. Come on now. Y'all part of the SEC, baby.
What that got to do?
To beef it up. All you got to do is find a guy that don't look like a booster. Give him the soup, the briefcase like Nick Saban do.
See, that's what I'm saying. What was the school you went to again? Which one of these swag
schools?
schools?
FAMU. We used to give away garbage. We used to give away little small bags. It wasn't never nothing large. We give away little 50-cent bags.
FAMU. What you talking about, man? Shoot, that's great.
We used to give away Crown Royal. We couldn't afford to keep that.
It probably wasn't even Crown Royal. It probably Secret 7.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it was.
Canadian Miss. That's what it was.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with Canadian Miss.
Yeah. Well, that Mad Dog 2020, all that stuff. He ain't no telling what he used to indulge.
You know what, man? Nah, I ain't trying to be funny, but Mad Dog 2020, I tried that once. And I knew that anything that tasted like strong grape Kool-Aid that burned when it went down, I know that one normal. I know what's wrong with that. People like, dog, I took one sip of that in college. I'm not joking. And I said to myself, I looked at the guys I was hanging with. I said, something got to be wrong with y'all.
And then you went and bought some and took it home and drank it at the house instead of
I
drinking.
know I did. An hour later, them dudes was staggering around, and I'm like, nah. I just kept drinking my little beer. Anybody, I hope Mad Dog don't get mad at me, and I hope they don't even sell that stuff anymore. That's pure poison, man.
No, they still sell it, and there's probably more flavors of Mad Dog today.
That's a shame. That's a shame, man.
I went into a liquor store and there was a whole wall full. They don't call it Mad Dog no more. It's MD 2020.
Yeah,
and,
MD.
And they got every flavor imaginable.
So I know what Fred Savage, you be talking about some Ripple. That one number Mad Dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hey, listen, this is gonna Tim. Let's get out of here on this first segment because we still got some other things that we got to cover. Got to come back. We got bringing back Money Matters one more time again.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
here with that segment, man. Money Matters.
Yeah, well, we're gonna hear what you have to say because we really want to know what your take is. Don't go into it right now. Save it for after the break. But Jim Harbaugh, man, gets that extension. Oftentimes on here, we're trying to figure out, is he really who needs to be at Michigan right now? Talk some Heisman stuff. And there's no way we can't go on this show without talking about Nick Saban in Alabama. It just has to happen. 18 national
matters, man.
Let's see what it is. So we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, hit some Money Matters right after the break. See you guys in a little bit.
Sites.com for your personal and commercial needs. Websites built, repaired, secured, maintained, and found. Brent Thomas and ProfoundSites.com provide e-commerce development, website development, online marketing, web, mobile, and e-commerce consulting. With over 10 years' experience, Profound Sites is responsible for creating GeorgeTeague.com, where you can hear Teague's Take with George Teague every week. Brent Thomas and Profound Sites can take you through the entire pain-free process of building your new website. From initial discussion to planning, design, to coding, and making your site live and discoverable on the internet. Contact Brent Thomas at ProfoundSites.com or email him at brent@ProfoundSites.com.
Hey, sports and sports memorabilia fans, this is IndyCar Tim. I want to talk to you about our new friend Chris Gordon over at the Cowboy House, cowboyhousesports.com on the web. Now, Chris is super passionate about all sports, and that's why the Cowboy House is so much more than just a Dallas Cowboys sports memorabilia store. He's got unique game-used memorabilia and rare, hard-to-find autographs for teams across the globe. Everything from the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, golf, UFC, soccer, Olympics, even from Hollywood and the political sector. And his store isn't just a fancy mall store. It's more of a man cave that he likes to share with his friends and customers. Come on into the store at 209 South Shady Shores Drive, Suite 200 in Lake Dallas, and you can walk on the Texas Stadium end zone turf. You can sit in a chair from Yankee Stadium or Texas Rangers Globe Life Park. Check out hundreds of autographed jerseys from hundreds of teams. Check out thousands of photos signed with certificates of authenticity. He's also got custom framing for all of your sports memorabilia items. Chris Gordon over at cowboyhousesports.com. 214-551-5978. Thank you, Cowboy House.
Need a one-stop shop for Cowboys news happening over at the Star in Frisco? Click on over to cowboyssi.com, featuring Mike Fisher with 30 years experience covering America's team. It's the most popular of all Sports Illustrated sites and home to the Cowboys Blitzcast podcast. Cowboyssi.com is the place to get inside your Cowboys. With such a talented team of writers and reporters over there, you'll always know the latest about personnel and roster moves, salary cap issues, and draft class status. Click on over to cowboyssi.com and get the inside scoop on America's team.
3R Sports Graphics. Hello, everybody. You've probably seen the graphics that are out on social media every week that announce the guest for Teague's Take for that week, as well as their credentials listed there on the graphic as well. Those come from our good friend Tyler Sanders over at 3R Sports Graphics. Now, he only works for schools, so we need to mention that. Some of his proud schools are Liberty Christian, Parish Episcopal, Legacy Christian, and Fort Worth Christian. These are custom graphics for your school's athletic department. Hire Tyler Sanders and 3R Sports Graphics, and you will work one-on-one with a graphic designer. You will get final score graphics the night of the game, unlimited graphics with a 1-year contract, and you can fulfill the sports information director role of a school, but for a fraction of the cost. And he will handle this for you every week. He puts it out on social media for you as well. He handles that. Give Tyler Sanders a call with 3R Sports Graphics, 713-933-9767, or you can shoot him an email, tsanders2405@gmail.com. Tyler Sanders, 3R Sports Graphics, on Twitter at 3R Sports and the number 1. And check out his Twitter feed. He's got all of the examples. You can scroll through his feed and look at all of the graphics that he's done for everybody. Tyler Sanders, 3R Sports Graphics. Give him a call now. Thank you, Tyler. Welcome back, everybody, into Teague's Take. For January 12th, we've got the very esteemed Cowboy great, 3-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro. Mr. Nate Newton is with us tonight, and all the good memories, man, of Coach Landry, of Coach Johnson, and it's a great show, George. As always, you book the best guests and the most interesting conversations come out of this podcast. Right now, however, it's time to pay some attention to the other Teague on the show, as we're going to get into a little bit of Money Matters with
And
JT.
now it's time for America's favorite segment, Money Matters with JT.
I love this. This intro is always great. It'll always make me smile. But this week we are kind of sticking to the theme about Money Matters and talking about an extension that was handed to Jim Harbaugh. And when I first saw the headline, I was ready to get back up on my soapbox again. But yeah, this is a great graphic. Yes, he's been signed through 2025. He's got a $4 million base salary, which is basically a 50% pay cut. Record is 49-22. In the last 6 seasons, he's dropped 4 straight bowl games. And yes, still like 0-6 against Ohio State. So at first, I was ready to just ridicule Michigan for this extension. But after seeing the actual contract details, this is probably the best thing that Michigan can do here. And I said this earlier, you've basically gotten Jim Harbaugh at Kirk Ferentz prices. Although with respect to Kirk Ferentz, he's actually beaten Ohio State in his tenure. So, but the deal is the buyout is very cheap. It's $4 million this year, and by the end of his 4th year, the buyout is $1 million. But if you can, he went from being a top 10, maybe even top 5 paid head coach in college to somewhere around 30. Probably about right. And what is the most surprising to me about this is in a league where head coaches are getting paid more than they've ever been in college. Most even getting paid more than NFL head coaches. You've got Nick Saban that just, with his bonus, just put him over $10 million this year. Dabo's at 9, I think. What does this really say about Jim Harbaugh? Not Michigan, because Michigan did what they needed to do. They cut his salary in half. But what does this say about Jim Harbaugh and what he thinks about his prospects are going forward, that he would willingly accept a 5-year deal that cuts his salary in half?
So I have a question. Is he just that in love with coaching his alma mater, and he doesn't think he's going to get any prospects in the NFL or other colleges, or doesn't want to be back in the NFL or coach another college team somewhere, that he would take this deal? Because, it's not a great deal for him. Like you said, it's a great deal for the school. If you don't want to win ever again, I guess, money-wise, it's a good deal for the school. But, and you're going to win games. You're not going to win a Big Ten title. You're not going to beat Ohio State probably in the next 5 years, unless something dramatic happens. And I could, if he was fired today by Michigan, there are 7 NFL teams with head coaching vacancies right now. I guarantee you there's 3 or 4 of those that would probably show some interest, just based on his time in San Francisco.
I don't know, Nate. What you think about that?
I was hoping if I put on my mask, y'all probably won't ask me to talk about this dude. If y'all ask me to talk about this dude, I'm gonna take off my mask. Y'all forced me to talk about it. I'm with your son on that. They got him for peanuts. I understand $4 million to an average man is not peanuts, but he gave his soul to Michigan just then. He showed Michigan it ain't about the money to him. Money don't matter in this case for him. He's saying, Michigan, give me another 4 years to show you what I can do. He could have been somebody, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator on the pro level, because you know yourself, T, they love retreads. And he has enough clout and enough cachet to go back to the NFL and get a coordinator's job. Maybe not at the $4 million that he's getting at Michigan, but I was getting ready to burn this dude. Whoever put up that graphic did a great job. I was getting ready to burn him. You know how I felt. I was getting ready to tear his head off. But for $4 million, I mean, you can't go in there and talk. One thing he can't do is when he go into if he do this at some kid's house, do not mention Ohio State. Do not mention Alabama. You need to say, hey,
don't even mention Michigan State.
We're gonna and I would say Michigan State for last. You talking about everybody keep talking about he hasn't beat Ohio State. When is he gonna beat Michigan State? So,
and I concur with all the stuff all of you guys are saying. I don't know. I guess my administrator hat comes on at times like this where maybe it's good for the university because you keep a very good coach. You keep them for cheap, take a pay cut. Maybe you can think of it like a player. But you know what? At some point, if they ain't cutting the job, man, you got to go, man. You got to let them go.
Is he a good pro coach or a good college coach? Which one are you alluding to here? I want to know which one of you said good coach. Okay. Michigan may not want. Michigan may say, okay, if we get rid of Coach Harbaugh, who do we go get? Well, I'm gonna tell you, like I told a whole lot of people, it's a lot of young, great minds out there. You just got to give them the reins, and you got to give them a chance to do this.
I got two things. One of them is a statement. The other one is possibly a conspiracy theory. The first thing is, if Michigan is going to go get a new coach, you definitely have. If you're going to get rid of Jim Harbaugh, you have to make sure and you have to know that whoever you're bringing in is better than Jim Harbaugh.
All right.
Second is, how do we know that this wasn't actually an attempt to get rid of Harbaugh? Because I've been talking for weeks about how Michigan has found themselves in a predicament where they cannot fire Jim Harbaugh because Jim Harbaugh is a prodigal son. He is the quintessential Michigan man. What if this was the administration being like, hey, if we offer Jim half of his salary, maybe he'll just walk and we won't have to fire him. And Jim was like, yeah, I'm calling that bluff.
Okay, I like that.
Give me my money.
I like that.
And
we're going to insult Jim. We're going to insult Jim Harbaugh and Jim bid on the bait. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, now they both look like fools, right? So, but I think that this ends up being, at least we can look at him and say, hey, you got the contract that you deserved. They were paying you for what they thought you were now, and now they're paying you for what you are.
Yeah.
So is your conspiracy theory the fact that they were trying to offer him less money to extend him so that he would say no, and then he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Where do I sign? And they're like, oh, crap.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I'm wondering if the AD was like, hey, I don't want to be the guy that fired Jim Harbaugh, so let's just see if we can get him to walk. And Jim was like, nah, I got you.
That would be awesome if that was what happened.
Yeah. Let's insult Jim and see if it worked, and it didn't work.
Well, I don't know. And answering your question, Nate, I think he would be good in the pros. I think he could do some stuff. I don't, I don't know. He's been down there for a while. Could he come back up? Could he be in a race with Urban Meyer or one of these guys that are coming back, out of the college ranks to the pros. And I think he would be a hot ticket, that's for sure, to try to be in, like you said, a coordinator role, if not a head coach role.
Are you
Some guys can't
go to Michigan?
Say what?
Are you suggesting Urban Meyer would go coach Michigan?
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's a step down.
Yeah,
for sure.
15 years ago, that wouldn't have been. This is the issue is, and we sitting there trying to reason why Coach Harbaugh still is the head coach of Michigan. It's because we, in our minds, really think that Michigan is still that powerhouse, and they're not. And so when Northwestern cannot recruit you, when Michigan State cannot recruit you, like I say, it's when you knock on the door, they say, okay, I'm Coach Harbaugh. What do you offer a kid? I know what Nick Saban, Dabo Sweeney, a few other coaches, I know what they offer. But what do you offer? Okay, he will graduate. He will be a Michigan man. Okay, you can go to Texas and be a Texas man. If you're going to graduate, okay, that's a great thing. But most colleges can offer you an opportunity to graduate and stay on your behind and push you.
Michigan, they offer good student basketball tickets. Say, hey, you come here, you're going to go watch good basketball, man.
They are a basketball school. They are a shooting hoop school.
Wow.
Man, so hey, I don't know, man. I think that's a great topic. I think you, JT, has definitely been on point with Money Matters tonight. Just talking about Harbaugh, and I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see what it looks like over the next couple of years. What happens now? He's got him for cheaper or at the price they want him at. What if it's still not successful? What he's 8-3 again, 7-4? What if he loses?
Well, he's a $4 million coach. That's what you get.
But are you going
to
fire him if he loses to Ohio State, Michigan State again, even at $4 million? How many more chances does he get, even with this? When is it over? That's the only thing I say or think. A year or two down the road. So anyway, man, I want to move into maybe a winning football team. How about that? And or at least a topic of some people. And this is kind of interesting. What we want to discuss right now. It's about Heisman winners and what they look like as high school recruits. Heisman winners and what they look like as high school recruits.
So I had a graphic for this. I just hit the wrong button. So if something plays here, just ignore me. I thought I had it on here already, but apparently I don't. So I saw a funny graphic, not funny, but interesting graphic, George, that talked about the last 10 Heisman Trophy winners. As I'm trying to find it still. And where they were being recruited coming out of high school, because we just had the college recruiting show last week with Tom Lemming and the great Mike Roach, and it's an inexact science, and I'm really interested in this. So the fact that I found this was pretty amazing. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Whoops, not even the same one.
Bob Cousins was 2. That's all right. I like that.
Dang it, man. I really don't know what I did with this. But so out of the last 10, there were 4 that were top 100 recruits coming out of high school. Only 4 out of the 10. And one of the other ones was not even a top 1,000 recruit and won the Heisman. And I'm about to bring it up right here for you because I found it.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. I went back to 2011 looking at the names with RG3, Mansell.
Right, yeah, that's how far back this chart went.
Jameis Winston. Well, he was ranked pretty high.
Yeah, he was Mr. Football in Alabama, so he had to be
I
somewhere.
think he was the Winston, number 1 dual threat guy. RG3 was number 4 dual threat guy.
Yep. So here you go. You had RG3 going back to 2011, number 293 in 08. So you had Winston at number 16 in 2012. You had Derrick Henry at number 12 in 2013. You had Kyler Murray at 34 in 2015. Of course, Devontae Smith, number 62. Look down here at Baker Mayfield, though, in 2017. He was number 1,029 in 2013, won the Heisman. And you know what? I didn't realize off this chart, this was interesting to me. If you go over here to the right column, you got Marcus Mariota out of Oregon, of course, Johnny Football out of A&M. I did not realize Johnny was ranked higher than Marcus Mariota in that 2011 class, high school class. Yeah, that really surprised me. You know, Mariota's still in the league. Johnny's not. Neither one's a starter. Marcus, of course, is backing up what's his face in Las Vegas. But I don't know, man. To me, this was interesting because of the show we had last week, and I wish I'd have seen that. I don't know, maybe it wasn't out last week, but it's such an inexact science, right? I mean, look at Joe Burrow, 280th nationally in the 2015 high school class. So
it's but it's all about how you grow, mentally and physically,
right?
And it says a lot for the coaches that coach these guys, all except for Kyler Murray. Because I saw Kyler Murray play.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we all did here. Local.
Yeah, so we knew that it was legit. But all the rest of them, these kids grew into their bodies and they grew mentally. And they like I said, that passion and that drive just became unstoppable. So
once you talk about that, Nate, I'm asking you because anyway, what is it about once you come into the league and the mental capacity and the growth? What did you experience with that coming out of your college and then stepping into an NFL training camp? How much different for you was that?
You played on like I said, you played on a different level. You played at Bama, and back when you was playing, Bama was still dropping the hammer on folks. Where I come from a black college, and bruh, when I came into the league, the speed for you was maybe one time and a half faster. The speed for me was unreal. I felt like what is it, Ben DiNucci? I didn't know Chase Young was that big, So it was unreal for me, man. And the way the defenses and moved and adjusted to formations, I was blown away. I got cut by the Redskins, not because I wasn't athletic enough and tough enough. It's just I wasn't mentally ready for that. So I went into the USFL for a year and came back. And like I said, I walked right into a bear trap because I love the Cowboys and walked right into Coach Landry, multiple facet formations. And I was, it took another coach to come in and say, hey, man, you got a good player here, but we got to kind of simplify some of this. And once they simplified it and then I matured, then I could go back up into that multiple thing. So it took me a minute, man, whereas it probably didn't take you what? You came in and did your thing quickly.
Yeah, and I'll say it was, I shouldn't say easier, probably in that sense. It's just a lot of it was similar. We were playing a lot of the same things, just I had to adjust the terminology for the most
right.
The speed was part of it. Hey, yes, I played at Bauman, and there were plenty of fast dudes, but some of them just weren't like Tim Brown. And, my first game, I'm out on the island trying to cover Tim Brown and James Jett and all these Raiders that are just known for speed. Is like, good Lord, can I get somebody this slow? There's normally was somebody, LSU team that I could play, it's really interesting because I'm wondering if some of this, as you're trying to evaluate and look, well, how do Heisman Trophy people equate into the league? And you can look at some that were bust or didn't play, to their top notch. I'm not no knock on him, but playing against
it's just
the Heisman guy.
It's about growth mentally. As quick as you can grow mentally, the advantage you will have. The mental part of the game, as quick as you can get that, then things start to slow down because you have the physical capabilities. You have the physical capabilities, but as quick as you can get that game to slow down. Now, it's different for quarterbacks. And you'll always hear me say this, and I learned this early in the league. It's not, I don't believe in bad quarterbacks, but I do know and believe in bad offensive coordinators and bad quarterback coaches. Because Mitchell Trubisky to be where he's at with the Bears is a shame. For Carson Wentz to regress the way he has is a shame. For Jameis Winston, to be where he's at is a shame. And I blame this on number one, bad coaching, and number two, who they're surrounded around off the field. All right. Quarterbacks are a very delicate thing, and you have to have people off the field who know how to handle you right and to push you in the right direction. And more importantly, that guy that sits in there with you as your coach, he got to be the man. He got to be the man to know who you are and adjust real quick, and to get your offensive coordinator to buy into your skills.
Well, so if I get, that's a good segue, if you guys don't mind. Yeah. What about this is going into a coach like Nick Saban then, when all the things you just said, having to know the kids, understanding maybe off the field stuff and how they learn and all that kind of stuff. This guy has done something unmatched, right? Not in just winning, the dominance and the legacy that he's built. What is it that he may have, Tim or JT, that might be, in a Belichick and these guys that went for a long time? Why isn't that in all coaches? Why does it just have to be certain guys? Why isn't it innate for other guys to build legacies when it just seems like talent? What additional you got to have as a coach? What is Nick Saban doing differently than everybody else?
So if you want to look at, and I'll go first real quick if it's cool, JT. I mean, to me, if you look at Saban and you look at Belichick, they surround themselves with the right people. And I don't know, to me, to be a good, especially a college coach, you got to be a good evaluator of people. And I don't mean talent, of people. Of course, talent comes from the players aspect. They got to be able to evaluate that too. But if you've got the right people in place around you, you have other people also helping you evaluate that talent. So, you look at the coaching tree of Belichick, he had a lot of coaches come out from under his tree to be successful head coaches. I mean, none of them, really. Belichick himself came from the Bill Parcells coaching tree. You look at Saban. He's got a little bit more of a successful track record with his assistants leaving and being successful. But, man, to me, for Saban's key has been surrounding himself with the right coaches, the right, I don't know, do they call them scouts in college? Whatever they're, recruiters, whatever, however they're out evaluating high school talent. Yes, he's got those right, he's got the right people that know what he's looking for. And he's filling his team now since 07, 08, since he's been at Alabama. And the classes keep graduating and the talent keeps coming. And that's the only way he's been successful. He doesn't do it by himself. He's clearly a great football mind. He's a great motivator. He's a great coach on the field. He's a great game planner. But he's got this coaching staff around him. And the fact that he can have coaches leave and bring other coaches in and the program doesn't miss a beat, that's a testament to him and the fact that he can surround himself with the right people.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I just want to take that a little bit further because, it is that they can evaluate talent. They do develop guys very, very well. But two things that stand out to me the most is, one, his willingness to adapt, because there was a time in which I don't know if Alabama really knew what it meant to throw the ball downfield. That wasn't That wasn't something they did. It wasn't something they had to do. And then, he gets, Johnny Manziel comes out there and beats him up one time, almost twice. Ole Miss got him twice, and then he was like, okay, look, we can't have the big, we can't run our 3-4 anymore and have the big Terrence Cody nose tackles. We got to get pass rushers on the outside. And now you see where we went from guys like Courtney Upshaw that was good at pass rushing, but he was still a big dude, and Tim Williams on the other side who couldn't do anything but pass rush. To now we have two edge rushers basically all year long that are just these are the two guys that's going to rush the edge. We're going to have two guys that are supposed to stop the run in the middle, and then everybody else is just going to be athletes. And he's figured out how to start game planning around that. And then he brings in somebody like Lane Kiffin, who you knew before would have never happened. And they flipped the offense on its head. But his most unique ability is to be able to coach other coaches. The fact that he can have a season like this, and the last time they won a national championship was in 2017, and have 0 coaches from the 2017 staff on this staff and do it again, is a testament to, like what Tim was saying, being able to surround himself with the right people. But I think he also develops those people, how he can take Sarkisian, who was fired for alcoholism, and turn him into one of the hottest names in college football, trying to get a job. Brian Dable was fired and came down for a year, turned him right back around into an offensive coordinator. Mike Loxley was fired for being a terrible head coach, and he ended up doing so well there that he goes back and now he's a head coach at Maryland. He must have said something to Butch Jones. I still don't understand really how Butch Jones was able to get fired from Tennessee, literally do what I would say is nothing, but obviously his analysts do something. And he was able to give some kind of recommendation letter to have Major Applewhite and Butch Jones get another job. But he's able to silo those things. And as Frederick Hall is saying, he's able to delegate and hold people accountable and teach people how to do things better. Because at least when they leave Alabama, they may not still be the best head coach, but they left better than they came. And that's why Saban has his school. It's Saban schools for coaches who don't coach good and want to learn how to do other things good.
And here's what's funny, JT, is I had a story on my other podcast, I don't know, a year or so ago, talking about Nick Saban and his struggle with technology. And I want to say, man, I'm trying to remember, but it was as recent as like 2016. The dude didn't have an email address.
That's right.
That sounds about right.
Email. So to me, and this is something I'm bringing out on our Dallas Cowboys podcast Thursday night, but dude, I think he won this championship back in March. Not last night. This thing was won in March because when the SEC shut down, when everything was shut down, Nick Saban went home and went to work, just assuming the season was going to happen. I heard a thing from Paul Feinstein today that's got his freaking thumb on the pulse of the SEC, that Nick Saban over the summer got his players Apple Watches. Not the normal tablets that you're assigned. Mm-hmm. They got Apple Watches so that he could communicate with them better and at any point in time, so that in June, when they were finally allowed to come back and they were doing distance practicing and things like that, he already had things in place when the other coaches were just now starting their regiment for getting ready for the season. Nick Saban was 3 months ahead of him.
Yeah, you know who was dogging that idea, right?
Who?
Dabo.
Dabo.
It was like, we don't need Apple Watches to keep track of our players. Yeah. We know our players are doing workouts.
How'd that work out for you, Dabo?
The bottom line is this here. What Coach is, he's the greatest salesman in the world. And more importantly, he tells parents and kids the truth. So if he tell you, hey man, I need you to run 10 wind sprints because it's gonna do this and do this and do this, them kids already believe in this, and they can't call their mama saying it's too hard, because mama gonna say you stuck. He's the greatest salesman in the world that don't lie. And when you can do that right there, you can knock down a brick wall with a bunch of kids.
That's right. That's right. And you can tell the guys love him. The players actually and want to come back and be around it. And they're going to give and all the things that come with that, you know.
Yeah.
Now, I want to add two more things before we end this one.
All right.
One of my favorite things that I heard was when he told Julio Jones, he said, look, we're going to win championships with or without you, so you can commit or not commit. I don't care. He didn't lie. The second thing is he's got the best recruiting pitch ever, because since he's been in Alabama, every kid that he's recruited has won a national championship. There's not, if you stayed 3 years at Alabama, you have won at least one national championship from when he got there.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He don't lie, man. He just, I'm telling you, that's
your legacy.
Paul do that right there. He doing that with three star kids.
Yeah.
Nick don't knock on 3-star kids. They send him film, and he may look at it and may not look at it.
No, he's not going to. So what is it? Because I've been hearing all this talk about it, and and it hits me personally, and not because I feel like we were the best team ever back in 1992, but that people were saying, okay, is this 2020 Alabama team the best team ever?
It is. I think it is. He's had better defensive teams than this year, but overall, dude, I think this is his best collective team since he's been here.
I mean, it was the number one offense. So is the 2020 Alabama offense better than the 2019 LSU offense? Yes, in almost every statistical category. And the difference being LSU last year played like I actually have it pulled up. They played Georgia Southern, Northwestern State, and Utah State in order to boost those numbers a little bit. Well, Alabama didn't have any of those this year.
All SEC
teams, and they came out with higher points per game, more yards, all the things.
My deal is this, brother.
I'm sorry. Did y'all see that comment by Craig Young? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Just like the NBA this past year, just like the season this year for Alabama and all of college football. The best and strongest mentally tough team won. They prepared. Wasn't nothing going to stop them. They did things right versus the COVID. They tried to. And when you try and have success, luck favors that. And Bama did whatever it took. Like you said, like all of you said, like I said, they didn't care. This coach did not care. He told all his players, we are playing. Now, we may be playing Sisters of the Blind, but we're going to play.
That's right.
So they players knew from day one that they was going to play. And a lot of other people didn't believe that. But Nick believed that. He not only did it with the watches, by calling his players, by learning the technology, he did whatever it took. And even when he had COVID, he had plans for that. So this is a guy that always thought he was going to play. And his team took on his character and his attitude, and that's why they blasted everybody.
So let me say it, and I just have to say this. I'm not really I'm being devil's advocate a little bit, but also kind of giving my opinion, I guess, at this point. Because when we start to talk about what the best team ever looks like, ever, I really don't know what quantifies that, right? So is that because we have high-powered offenses and you're winning and you go 13-0, 14-0, or whatever, you got the statistical data. And the reason I'm saying is because I think that could be skewed based upon time of the era, what did those teams look like back then compared to now because the rule change and, the game is kind of built more for offenses now? Would we have the same kind of conversation when you have teams like the Ravens and other people that just have these dominant defenses? Typically the word then becomes this may be the best defense ever, but it's never this is the best team ever. Well, why not? We're saying this is the best team because they score a lot of points. They score 50-something points, and they throwing the ball all over the place, and they're running it. And, the defense is good, but it ain't So
it's still a top 5 defense, though.
Okay. And so what I would say is historically, because I know you'll do the research after you leave, and by the time we come back on next Tuesday or Sunday, you'll be able to tell me what teams have not – are there any other teams that have a 1 and a 5, a 1 and a 4, a 1 and a 3, something, maybe even in recent history that may be a little bit about the same, but maybe not as high profile. Maybe there's Division I AA, what's it called, FCS school or something that may fit into this. What makes them so I'm agreeing. I'm just saying I think there should be some more discussion to say, okay, well, what defines best team ever? You can do it in the pros. You can.
That's all subjective, of course. Carson Wentz's North Dakota, whatever Bison's team that won 3 straight championships in their division here in Frisco. That's got to be considered based on some criteria, right? I mean, you win 3 straight, and you're whatever they call it. I mean, that's got to be considered at some point. But there's so many criteria for that. It's all subjective. Just like the greatest NFL team ever. Oh, the Chicago Bears in '85. Well, you know what? I offer you the '94 Dallas Cowboys. Probably would have beat that team. Well, based on what? It's all just because Nate was on it. That's why.
It's just talk. It's just talking it. And
you know what? Y'all can talk all you want.
That's just a little thing that because especially
I know this right here.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, the Roll Tide was the best team, and that's all that matters.
Right.
And next year we'll have another one, and the next year we'll have another one. That's I tell people I refuse to get into the best ever. The bottom line is Teague has some rings on his hand, and at that time, at the end of that year, y'all were the best ever, and that's how I look at it. I'll worry about next year. The '85 Bears, I worry about them when it was in '85 and I was cheering for them. Other than that, I'm waiting on the next hot team. That's how I live, bro. I can't wait. Forget all who's the greatest.
Are you trying to tell me not to ask you which one was the best football team you had out of your 3 Super Bowls?
I asked how much we parted. Which one of those weeks during the Super Bowl? At the first Super Bowl, we partied hard. In the second Super Bowl, we really went out. I mean, if you want to ask me about what happened off the field, I can give you the best of on that. But those teams were better and better each year, bro. I mean, I don't want none of the Super Bowl rings. I'm praying the Cowboys can get back to the Super Bowl so I can beg Mr. Jones for a new Super Bowl ring.
Give you one. Yeah, he'll probably give you one too.
I'll be glad to pay for it as long as it don't cost over $40,000. Okay.
Hey, I'll buy my $50 replica any day too.
Yeah,
for that next.
I truly believe that, man. You can look at the best teams ever, and I know it's a great podcast or a great radio segment to see who they, da 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 da. Oh, okay, all that's great, but I know who knocked everybody out this year. That was a Roll Tide. They knocked everybody out.
Say it louder. Say it louder for me, dog. Say it louder. Roll Tide. Say it louder for me.
For the people in the back.
Yeah, everybody type it up on the screen. Put up a graphic, Tim. Put up Roll Tide on the graphic, man.
I gotta do that for you.
Put it up on the screen, man. We gotta celebrate this day. You know what I'm saying? It's true. Yes, sir. Roll Tide to the day I die, baby.
Yeah.
George, you got anything else for us?
Love you guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We do appreciate your time, man.
Young T, nice seeing you in the car, Tim. At
IndyCar, brother.
You know, y'all guys be good, man. The Teague is always a pleasure, man. I'm glad I was able to get on in time to do your show, man, your podcast.
No, I thank you very much, man. I'll be sending you a gift or something of that nature. But
What you do, man? Send it, whatever it is. Send it to Jackson State. They need it more than me.
Prime got that money, man. I'm sure he done built a little pond or a little fishing lake back there. So tell me, give some of them catfish he got back there. So anyway, man, hey, listen, yeah. So let's go ahead and take one last little break, man. Then we'll finish up right after this. Talk a little bit of NFL football, right?
Oh, you want to talk some more?
No. You go ahead and go, man. You go ahead and get because I know
I want to say my thing on the Cowboys right quick. Like, so you go in the car, Tim. I want to say something about the Cowboys and how much I love them.
You know what? Let's do that, Tim. Let's not even go to break right now. Let's do that because we got him here. Because I really want to know. Let's do this. Let's talk about Dallas and Dan Quinn. And are you happy with this hire? How you feel about that?
The only way I'm gonna be happy with this hire is after free agency and the draft. And the players that they get. If they go out in free agency and be talking about, well, we ain't got no money, and we go out and get the garbage like we got last year, I don't care how you can go get Dan Quinn, you can go get Bill Belichick. It ain't gonna happen, bro. We're gonna have to. And I ain't talking about in the first round with a number 10 pick, we just start falling into the decent defensive players. But I don't want to try to snatch a player up 10 spaces to make him a number 10 pick. If he's not there, let's go with the best player. But in the second round, we should be able to start. Second and third round, we should be able to get some decent defensive players. In free agency, we got to do it. If to pull Dan Quinn in here and not to give him an opportunity to show us how good he can be with his strategies and formations of setting people up, it ain't doing us no good.
So what's the most critical need, though, with the defense? Is it
the most critical need always going to be for me is the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
What set all the top colleges and top pros, you look at all the guys in the playoffs, they got good offensive lines and they got nice defensive lines. Yeah, you have skill position players, but you got to have somebody on that defensive line, that offensive line, to allow these skilled players to be who they need to be. And that's where the Cowboys have failed defensively. You know, you don't have no linebackers that can do their jobs. You don't have no defensive lineman that's very consistent, that maybe can take over a game. You know, and don't try to overplay what I'm saying. But Aaron Donald takes over games.
Yes.
You have to scheme for Aaron Donald. Now, it ain't but one Aaron Donald, but you have to scheme for the big guy for Kansas City. They got a big dude sitting up in the middle. You have to scheme for him. You have to scheme for Khalil Mack. They defense kept him in the game until it was just too much. They just got wore down against the Saints. D-Law we thought was going to be that guy, but D-Law has not been that guy. Yep. So you got to go out and find some players to complement one another and play team defense until you find that player. We didn't play great team defense last year.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you've got DeMarcus Lawrence on one side and you've got Randy Gregory on the other side for, starting next year, 17 games, you're going to be a little better off than you were in 2020, in 2021, under Dan Quinn's 4-3 under scheme. In my opinion.
What we need for Tristan Hill to come back and be a factor. We need for Gallimore to grow up quickly, because if they don't, I don't care how good the guys on the outside is, man, getting gashed for 150 yards.
Yep. So to answer your question, you're saying we need two interior guys.
We need for these guys to either grow up, and Antoine Woods is a guy that's going to give you 35 plays. If you ask him to play more than 35 plays or 30 plays, that's too much. Give him 30, 35 plays at the most. Go out and find another hog in the middle that's going to come forward, that's going to try to dent the offensive line, and you'll be all right people say, well, we need safeties, we need corners, we need this. Okay, you can need all you want. Don't fix the front. And the same thing will happen over and over and over again. What is Green Bay's biggest fear? It's like, okay, we cannot let the Rams run the ball. The greater offenses we have, if the Rams go to running this ball, that's going to negate everything that the Smith brothers can do on the outside. And they coming with that big boy they got from Florida State. They coming with the backup. They gonna try to run this ball. You know, they coach is smart. He ain't gonna try to fool around. he gonna try to come with running that rock. And see, people want to downplay running the football, but the majority of the teams that are in there plays decent defense and got a running game. Every one of them, every team that's in there that's left, they got a decent running game, and they got a nice defense. Not great, but nice.
Mm-hmm. That's spoken from great word from a man, Nate New. Keeping it real, baby. That's
man.
Up front. I knew you had to go up front because guys like me always want to get in the back.
You know what? And see, the thing about it, when I lay that wood on you, then all you want to talk about, well, wait till Monday. I'm gonna beat you some dominoes.
And everything else, but that's all right, So,
we need a live Teague's Take George versus Nate domino tournament. We'll do it live.
Nate said he don't play.
No, I'd be afraid he'd throw the domino at me. He wouldn't want to play fair, man. He try to wrestle.
Yeah, dominologist, man.
George.
JT should be very good at it. Just as good as he is with counting. Yeah, that's all it is. So
it just takes me too long. Y'all been getting mad at me for how long it takes me to count.
Bro, I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to get 5 points, and they getting 20. I ain't going for that. You can't win like that.
See, I don't have to set the dominoes up like this so that when you push this one, they all fall down that way. I can do that.
We could just say it. We didn't even have 20 on Nate. He just accepted it. We just say 20 and 13 on that.
Bro, I couldn't count, bro. I want 500 pounds.
Nice.
But I don't know. I'm kind of happy with this. I'm really interested to see how they're going to shuffle around the staff. If they're going to do anything different with the defensive staff, when you bring in a coordinator. And I don't know, Nate, maybe I just really hadn't followed that much. But
Georgette was just there. He was with Zim in Minnesota.
But what will they do? Will they leave him in the secondary? Are they going to move him to linebacker? Or
I think it was over the linebackers, man. But trying to deal with what they going to do with Jalen Smith? Is they going to make him he wasn't a true will this offseason. I mean, this football season. Might as well have been off season because all the way they rushed on him.
So I guarantee you that question came up in the interview process with Dan Quinn. How would you fix Jalen Smith, or can you fix Jalen Smith? I guarantee you that subject came up in the interview process.
How many more years he got in his contract? Anyone know?
3.
If he keeps playing this way, it's too many.
Yeah, no. I mean, he just re-signed last offseason.
He didn't look good this year, man.
No, he didn't.
He can't move.
But is everybody going to get the COVID year? They're just going to blame it. No real off season.
Bad before COVID.
Man, hey fellas, I gotta go, man. God bless y'all, man. Y'all fix the Cowboys. I'm gonna go play domino.
Love you, Nate.
Be good. All right, man. Y'all be good. God bless y'all, man. I'm gonna click off here, okay?
All right, Nate. There he goes, the great Nate Newton, number 61, your Dallas Cowboys offensive guard. Can't thank him enough for popping on here and spending the last hour, almost hour and a half with us, talking Cowboys, talking Jimmy, talking Landry, greatest college team ever, and more importantly, how he would fix the Cowboys defense. We're going to take one quick break here, our last break of the night, and come back. You want to talk a little bit about the division games coming up this week, boys?
Yes, sir. Let's do it real quick, and we'll be out of here.
Let's do that. We'll be back right after this.
Increase time inside your home, noticing all the little things needing attention? Let Repair Resource be your one trusted contractor to tackle all of your home repair needs. They do it all: electrical, plumbing, drywall, painting, and flooring of all types. They can even handle your exterior needs, like fencing, patio covers, concrete pads, and decking. No job too big or small. Repair Resource does it all. Call them at 972-415-1198 or visit them online at www.repair-resource.com.
Hey, this is IndyCar Tim. I want to talk to you about the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, Texas. It's North Dallas's premier sports bar and grill located at 1616 West Hebron Parkway. It's 16 minutes from just about anywhere in the DFW Metroplex. With all of the live action on dozens of TVs and the big screen, it's the place to hang out and watch the return of sports with all your friends. Friday and Saturday nights, you'll find the best live music in DFW right there at the Maverick Bar. And of course, on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., you'll find Teague's Take broadcasting live with Alabama and Cowboys legend George Teague. Come hang out and be part of the show. Check out the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, 972-492-7500, or on the web at themaverickbar.com. Welcome back to Teague's Take. We again want to say thank you to the great Nate Newton for popping on here with us and talking some Cowboys, talking some college football, and man, just all the stories, George. Appreciate you asking him to come on, and God, just all the stories. Can't even begin to tell you.
Man, it's awesome, man. I'm really glad that he was able to have the time. I know he went above and beyond for us because I know he was on the road. He was going to visit someone, but to sacrifice his time just to come hang out with us and stay longer than he said he would. It meant a lot, and I hope the viewers and the listeners have appreciated that as well.
So what was kind of funny is before we came on the air, we were all on the little stream here talking. Dion was off camera, and they were having a little conversation, and Dion was yelling stuff at you through him, and I was kind of hoping Dion would pop on, but man, they were having coaches meetings and stuff like this late at night over there. They're having coaches meetings, so they're working hard over there at Jackson State University and getting things going for the program over there. So, boys, divisional round in the NFL this weekend. George, we're popping on at what, noon?
Noon on Saturday. We're going to talk about this and do another pregame show. It'll be awesome. We'll have some guests come on. So if y'all want to come join us, please tune in on Saturday. Same channel, just at noon.
Same bat channel, same bat topics as we've got the Ravens at the Bills Saturday, along with the Rams at the Packers, and of course Sunday, Browns at the Chiefs and Buccaneers at the Saints. Do any of these games, JT, George, do any of these stand out in your mind here?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, JT.
Browns, Chiefs.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't seem fair. It's a 10-point spread. It doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, what is intriguing to me was clearly how the Steelers just got mugged. I missed, I don't know, I feel like the first 6 real-time minutes of the game, and I turned it on and it was 14-0. Got up and went to the bathroom and it was 21-0. And then it seemed like I blinked and it was 28-0. I was like, what is happening? Yeah. But I think the Chiefs, at least for me, the Chiefs have had like the quietest 14-2 season ever.
Because they're good.
I mean, yeah, they're good, but I guess going into the season, I kind of assumed like they were just going to be hanging points left and right on everybody.
Right.
And that hasn't been the case. They are a complete team, but this isn't. I don't see this team as the one that went and beat the Rams 2 years ago, 55-52 or whatever it was. Where that was the first game I said there was 100 points scored and the defenses actually didn't play that bad.
Right.
Kind of deal. So, I see this. I could see an upset. I'm not picking the upset, but it would not shock me if the Browns end up doing something where it's like 21-17, much like the Raiders Chiefs game was. And I was kind of watching that and I was like, what is happening? How are the Raiders still hanging around in here? And I feel like you were saying to me last week, with Chubb and Hunt, maybe they just keep it on the ground, slow the game down, and the Chiefs just don't get very many chances to put one in the end zone, and they sneak in something late. And next thing we know, we're talking about the Browns being a Super Bowl contender because
Right.
they can definitely be. I think the Browns can definitely beat the Bills or the Ravens. So I think if they get past the Chiefs, it's kind of theirs to lose. I think the hype train starts to go a little bit more, and they become hard to beat, not because they're a better team than the Bills, but it's just like the confidence goes through the roof once you knock the Chiefs off.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to say, I'm patting myself on the back, Mr. Tim, because in our pregame show, someone asked that it's Central Time. It's noon Central Time that will be on Saturday. I did pick the Browns to win the game against the Bills.
That was the only one that we differed on.
That's right. So we had a good choice. And with this, I am intrigued by what JT is saying. I wouldn't have really thought that at first, but now I'm thinking, well, with this stuff again, I mean, those running backs, man, I just can't get away from Hunt and Chubb.
You know what this reminds me of? Us last year, JP2 playing Nolan. And it was like, yo, if we beat Nolan, we got a shot. And I feel like this is exactly where the Browns are. It's like, hey, if they can beat the Chiefs, they're looking at the rest of whoever's left in the playoffs and like, if we can beat the Chiefs, we might be able to just beat anybody out here.
That's right. So and they got. I mean, I'm good with that, but I'm going to say the game that I had been interested in, Tim and JT, was really the Ravens and the Bills.
Wow.
That's the one that I think I'm looking forward to see. Really, because I want to see what the battle of these two young quarterbacks. What's this going to be? And they're different, right? One is going to run the ball, power running game, all kind of guys up on the line. They're going to do what they're going to do. You got a gunslinger and the other one who can throw it. I mean, it just I don't know. I think the Bills are favored just by a little bit. But man, it's going to be a slugfest, and I think this could go either way. And so I'm just intrigued, and I'll kind of look and follow a little bit more. But that's the one that I'm really interested in, Timmy.
So my big game, I've got two that I'm interested in this weekend. One is the Browns and the Chiefs, of course, just because of that 10-point spread. And I just so by the way, for those of you listening, watching, go over to georgeteague.com, look in the blog section. I've got an article up over there about why the Chiefs will not repeat. And it's some good reading. You should check it out.
It's incredibly hard to do.
So nobody in the last 16 years has repeated, and it's only been done twice in Patrick Mahomes' lifetime, where they even went back to the Super Bowl and lost with the Patriots and the Seahawks 2018, 2015, respectively. But, it's incredibly hard. It's a great read with all the history, because I'm a big history freak, and I don't see the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know if they're going to lose to the Browns. Although, man, I would love the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't know if they're going to lose to the Browns, but God, it would be great for them to go out in the divisional round because they would create so much chaos in the AFC. I still think the Bills are the best team in the AFC right now. They're my number one ranked playoff seed out of the NFC and AFC are the Bills. The Chiefs just seem very inconsistent. Patrick Mahomes has not had a good ending to the season. Has not played well. They have not played well as a team closing out the season. But, of course, the Buccaneers and Saints, you've got two 75-year-old quarterbacks. Good Lord.
Their age is actually like a legit high-scoring football game.
Exactly. So, I just – of course, I'm a Saints fan. And I hate Tom Brady with all of my heart, with all of my football passion. I hate Tom Brady.
I told you there's no quarterbacks that he likes. Did I tell you that, JT? There's no quarterbacks that he likes, man.
I like Justin Herbert over in San Diego. I think he's freaking awesome. I love Daniel Jones. That might be it. But, to me, that's the biggest game to pay attention to Sunday. By the way, it's the last game of the weekend, Sunday at 5:40 here Central Time on Fox. And the Saints are favored by 3 with a 52-point over-under. I've got the over. I think it's going to be more than 52 points, but I think it's going to be real close. And, dude, I don't even know if the Saints are going to win.
I'm not sure that they are. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah, if you go back historically, like I did with the Super Bowl repeat, dude, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in the same season. And I don't care if you're at home. I don't care if it's a playoffs. I don't care if you're Drew Brees. I picked the Buccaneers to win this game and to win it close, just because of that fact. JT, that's a good point.
And they might be getting Ronald Jones back. I think they have to check and see. Watch the injury.
By the way, did you guys realize that Dak Prescott had more touchdown passes than Michael Thomas in the regular season?
He should have more touchdown passes than Michael Thomas.
Hey, that's a fact. Okay, he had one. Didn't have any till the post.
Hey guys, listen. I think we should have some more good conversations about this this weekend. Again, we'll be on talk on Saturday noon Central Time. Come check us out. We'll dive into a little bit more, have some more expert stuff and things of that nature. And man, this has been a wonderful show, man. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us and going. But when you got someone on like Nate and he's shooting all kind of knowledge, and you got JT dropping them dimes with Money Matters, and it just is good. It's really, really good. So we're very thankful for this, and we'll do this again Saturday. But next Tuesday, we got Marvin Constant on. Marvin Constant played for University of Alabama linebacker. Actually got great story about perseverance and having to overcome some injuries and stuff. And he has his own podcast as well that I've been on several times. So I'm looking forward to having him on. So, JT, Tim, y'all got any closing remarks before we call it a night and get on out of here and go eat us some SpaghettiOs?
SpaghettiOs?
No, that's Tim. He started me with the SpaghettiO stuff. He always eating beefaroni, SpaghettiOs.
It will not be SpaghettiOs tonight, George. It will be Chef Boyardee beef ravioli. I'm gonna double can it because I haven't had food since about 11:30 today because I've been working on shows and stuff and been doing interviews on the phone. So yeah, I'm gonna double can the Chef Boyardee beef raviolis out of the microwave here in about 15 minutes.
I'll be sure to get you a gift card to Sam's or Costco or something so that you can always get the really big packs of it and just get one big can instead of 2
big 48 ounces. I know those my kids eat them all though. I got to hide the small cans in my closet.
Oh, God.
All right. You have anything else, by the way?
Trying to act like he don't know about kids' food. He got a little baby over there. He eating baby food, sticking his finger in there, get it out warm.
She's 4 months. She don't have no food yet. It's all breast milk.
I saw you put that little thing in your mouth.
No, you didn't.
Nasty, man. You gross, man. Quit drinking that milk.
But she did finally sleep through the entire night last night. She slept from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for the first time.
Man, I didn't even do that. I got up 7 times.
Did you tell your mama that? I'm pretty sure she would have. Man, you better hurry. Well, Swayla listening. She gonna be mad if you didn't call her and tell her.
Yeah.
You about to get a whooping, man. I'm telling you. You ain't tell her. So.
All right, everybody. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope / Twitter. If you've downloaded this during the week, we appreciate you downloading it on whatever podcast app you listen to. Please subscribe, leave us a great review. George appreciates you. JT appreciates you. I appreciate you. And special thanks again to Nate Newton, the great Nate Newton, the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Because when he came into the league, he weighed more than the fridge, so they had to name him the kitchen. God, nobody under 50 knows who the hell I'm talking about, George, when I say the fridge. God, I'm aging myself here. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. So make sure you tune in Saturday at noon Central Time. Me and George will be on with the divisional round pre-game weekend show covering all 4 of those games. have some special guest analysts on for that. So until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
There you go, JT.
Get it. We got this.